Well, if I brought something to the table, I'm grateful because I have to say that I was scared to death with this new thing he was doing because I knew the musicians that he had hired. And that was pretty scary for me because these guys did not play. These guys were, it's one thing to go into the police because I had no idea who the police were, by the way. Just like Talking Heads, I had no idea. It was another gig. So
Three
I didn't,
pasty guys, sure.
yeah. So I didn't have that angst. I didn't have um, that feeling of, oh my God, am I going to be good enough? Am I going? I didn't care. But when he decided to bring in musicians these really accomplished musicians, and I knew who they were, and I had heard their name for years, I was like, okay, you need to bring your A+ game, sister. And so I pulled in, I got my girl Janice Pendarvis, and because she's amazing. And she also reads music. I don't read music. So I knew if one of us read, it would make it easier because I don't know if he was going to have charts or whatever. And it worked out incredibly. It really did. It was just she was a gift for me to work with, and that was the start of another layer of learning for me in my career because these guys did not play, and I had to have it together.
And so for people who don't know, this is the I believe Bling on the Night tour where it was jazz musicians doing more pop and rock, but incredibly good jazz musicians.
These young guys too.
Mhm.
I think Branford at the time was like 23 or 24. Kenny Kirkland, Omar Hakim, and Daryl Jones. And Daryl Jones was the youngest. I think he was like 21.
Wow.
Kids. I think by that time I was in my 30s. They were kids. And they were so accomplished. Unbelievable.
What was Sting like on that tour? Because obviously you're saying with the police, he could have his nights.
Not, he was completely different. He he was willing to allow people to contribute as opposed to him being totally in control. He knew what he wanted, of course. However, he allowed the band to do what they do. And to watch that was very interesting. He didn't, because he was all, when I went on the police tour, he was always yelling and, and screaming stuff. And he didn't do any of that. Well, I shouldn't say he didn't do any of that, but it wasn't done in the same way. Because,
Mm-hmm.
of course, he still knew what he wanted. He was very clear, but he respected these musicians. And so when you respect something in someone, you treat it a little differently. And I believe that was the change.